after the Civil War and helped open the American West, would evolve into a larger fighting force that first appeared on the world stage in the Spanish-American War. Then in 1917, the Army was called upon to deploy overseas to defeat the armies of the German Kaiser in World War I. This year is the centennial of America's participation in the great offensive of that war, where American soldiers stood side by side with our allies, victorious in what became known as the Great War. World War I, the war to end all wars, did not live up to its name. On December 7th, 1941, the United States was attacked on its own soil for the first time since the British attacked in 1812. Men flocked to recruiting centers, and the United States built the most impressive fighting force the world has ever seen. Then in June 1950, over 1.8 million American service members, many of them veterans of World War II, fought desperate battles at places like Heartbreak Ridge and Porkchop Hill. Less than a decade after the end of hostilities in Korea, the Army was again called upon to confront our nation's enemies in Southeast Asia. The Vietnam War was our nation's longest conflict before the campaign in Afghanistan. More than 58,000 Americans lost their lives in Vietnam. 1,606 Americans remain unaccounted for and are never forgotten. Our Army fought in incredibly challenging conditions, but never wavered in their courage and commitment to the nation and each other. Today's Army has transformed into an all-volunteer force that has become the world's most professional and capable military team. America now finds itself fighting the longest continuous conflict in our nation's history and the only major modern war without a draft. Since 2001, hundreds of thousands of brave men and women have volunteered to support and defend the Constitution and defeat our nation's enemies to maintain the freedoms we enjoy today. From the soldiers of Washington's Continental Army to the new greatest generation, one thing remains constant: the American citizen who has stepped forward to become a soldier who embodies professionalism and honorable service, ready to defend our nation in peace and war since 1775. In 1960, General Order 18 established the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps and tasked the unit to provide support in training and ceremonies, and to entertain. No group in the U.S. Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps more completely excels in carrying out those orders than our drum group. Hours upon hours of beating cadence for officers and NCOs regimental parade training, and then hours of key leaders ceremonial rehearsals. Our drummers are there for all of it. They've taken the rudimental calls that were so imperative to the revolutionary soldier and turned it into an art form. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see some of the world's finest rudimental drummers and hear sounds that harken back to the artillery that once protected this bay. The U.S. Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps drumline. Aren't they fantastic, ladies and gentlemen?